Winner of our Recording Artist of the Year is Yazz.
In 12 months, Yasmin Evans has conquered both the British singles and album charts. She was awarded Best Recording Artist of the Year by the Variety Club and has recently completed a sell-out tour of Great Britain. Her personal style has gone from the spiky blonde bombshell to the mop, as the press called her. We caught up with Yazz while she was on holiday in Portugal, followed her to Paris and finally cornered her in the studio working on her new album.
Oh, I had a brilliant year. It was mad, but we had a lot of laughs and good times. But if I think about it now, no, it's got to be the tour. Oh, it was mega. It's brilliant.
Yazz, what does it actually feel like playing live?
I felt elated. I felt really supported by my fans and everybody. And to be recognised for something that you've worked really hard at is a real compliment. So I felt really good.
So we've got to decide tonight.
Got to Share is very special to me. I wrote that song after I'd watched the 9 o'clock news one night, which had a feature about South Africa and the violence that was happening. There'd been another riot out of one of the townships. And I remember, getting up and going upstairs and writing, about it. And I wrote Got to Share, which is about apartheid.
Are you a romantic?
Yeah, I'm very romantic. And I'm lucky because my husband's very romantic too.
What's it like having a business relationship and a marriage with the same man?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Sometimes it's great and sometimes it's really hard, but we're working on it. It's like any relationship. You have to work on it.
Do you worry about continuing your chart success?
To be completely honest, yeah, I did go through that a bit on holiday. I did, because you have your first solo single goes to #1 for 5 weeks, and then your next single, everyone's going, will it be as good? You just have to get over that, and you just have to believe in what you're doing. That's the most important thing. If you believe in what you're doing, then it doesn't matter if it's a success or not, because you can stand there and say, well, I like it. During the concert, there's a number called Something Special, which was a really nerve-wracking song for me to do because it was a cappella in the beginning, no band, just me and the piano before the rest of the band came in. And usually what I try and do is spot someone in the audience and try to sing to them, so I just concentrate on that and not worry about my vocals or anything like that. So I looked out to this wonderful sea of faces and lights up, and I see this lovely little boy in the front, and I thought, oh, an angel, great, this little cherub, I'll sing to him. And as I start singing a cappella, see, this little boy starts blowing a bubble. So I'm thinking, oh no, please don't pop this bubble, on my highest note. And next to him is probably his sister or his cousin or a friend or whatever. And she's looking at me like, oh yes, and then she's looking at this bubble thinking, what shall I do? Shall I pop the bubble or shall I just listen to Yazz? And as I reach the high note, she goes, whop!
You so special, love.
How different is the Yazz that we see in Portugal compared to the Yazz that's in the studio surrounded by technology?
Very different, I think. Like anybody who goes on holiday, you relax, you try and forget about work, you work on whatever it is you haven't had time to work on in yourself.
Do you find it easy to relax, or when you're on holiday, are you thinking, the EQ mix was a bit off on that one, or whatever it is that you think about?
I used to think I used to think it was easy to relax, or I thought I was relaxed, but actually, no, in reality, it's not that easy for me. It took me a couple of weeks, in fact, to really calm down and stop worrying about everything, like you say. But I think that's just part and parcel of whatever you do in your life. It's always sort of there, really, the back of your mind.
Are you glad you're back now? You're back, are you sort of raring to go?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm really excited about the next album.
What have been the best bits about the past year?
Being #1, it's very special. Making and releasing an album was one of my first dreams to come true. The Variety Club Awards was really special. I had no idea that it was going to be so glamorous.
What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you while you've been playing live?
I wore these chaps on stage, and they were made of very, very thin fabric, and they were done up with like straps around the legs and things. And just before I went on one particular night, I'd forgotten to do one leg up because I was in such a hurry or something like that. So I'd come out with one sort of leg done up, one leg completely undone, and was flapping around this stage for like the first 2 numbers before I had a chance to do them up. And as I actually bent to do them up, they ripped.
When did you first start writing songs then?
I started writing songs about 4 years ago when I was in another band, and we were signed to another record company, but we didn't have any success at that time. But that was the first time that I started to want to take control of where I was going, really. And the best way to do that, I felt, was to write songs.
Thank you.
Are you quite an impulsive songwriter, or are you the sort of person that can toddle off up to your bedroom and do it away from everyone else? Or do you find yourself, writing songs on scraps of serviettes in restaurants?
I do that. How do you know?
I know.
Music is about, it comes from the soul and the spirit, and that's what comes first.
Now, you tend to go from swoony, sad kind of songs to very up numbers to reggae, jazz. Which do you prefer, do you think?
Well, I prefer all of them. That's why I did it all on the album. I took a bit of a risk, I think. Probably most record companies would prefer their artists to do one style of music for the whole thing. I think we've proved that wrong.
What made you write about Martin Luther King?
My father taught me a lot about influential black leaders. It's actually one of my favourite songs that I've ever written. But I wrote it as a B-side on the back of Fine Time. I'm really proud of that song. Right,
Do you ever sit and think, how did ordinary old Yasmin Evans get to be Yazz the singer?
No.
I'm off. You always appear to be this fiercely independent character. Are you actually that way?
Who, me? I think I believe in what I do so much that animates out of Yazz.